In the last slide, you see how the textbook explains how to find percentages. This assignment is going to translate for you into a written assignment. Your quizzes, homework, most everything's going to be online, but you do have 3 exam dates for chapter tests. So you'll have an exam in person. Those dates are in the when you registered, you should have seen them, and then also in the Getting Started module, you'll see those exam dates, and those will be in person, and you'll be writing on a piece of paper and submitting your work. So while this is an online class, I do want you to get practice with what it is I'm looking for when a particular problem asks you to show your work, because you will have a calculator. So what exactly do I want you to put on paper? So this question is also being asked of you through the MyLab Pearson site. But what I want you to do, as I posted an assignment, is do the answers to these questions by hand. So this is an example that I pulled from your homework, and the assignment that is in Canvas for this week is also worded the same way. So this reads, in a survey conducted by a wedding planner website, 1,249 married or engaged women were asked about the importance of a bended knee when making a marriage proposal. Among the 1,249 respondents, 54% said that the bended knee was essential. Please complete parts A through D. So the first question is asking, what is the exact value that is 54% of 1,249? In the last slide, they mentioned that this symbol percent means divided by 100. And so one way to rewrite 54% is 54 over 100 as a fraction. That means 54 divided by 100. But also this is the decimal equivalent to 0.54. That's 54 hundredths. And then the second star on the slide mentions that you would interpret 60% of something if you were looking for 64% of something. That of is multiplication. In this case, I'm looking for 54%. Sorry, I was looking at the slide. And so another way for me to calculate this is not look at it as a fraction. Usually what I do is, if I'm looking for 54% of, I recognize that this is multiplication. You know, you could put a dot, you can use parentheses. So you could either use the fraction form of 54%. Basically, you're just going to multiply 0.54 times 1249 and then see what your calculator gives you. So you could either write the percentage as a fraction, or you can write it as a decimal, but this is what I'm saying that I'd like to see when I say I want to see the computation. On the calculator, I've been working on this. I think I have it right there. So this will come out to 674.46, and that would be the exact amount. These are instructions that you are going to see on the Pearson site, because they will mark you down if you don't round correctly or as indicated. And an integer would be something that's 0.0, but you don't put the point. So like -5 is an integer, 7 is an integer. And they say do not round. So everything that came out of this calculator should be used as your answer. So I just showed you that I had done it in the past. When you get more familiar with this calculator, this is what I call a cursor. You can use your cursor and go up, and you'll see all the things that I did. If I'm ever stuck in an area that I want to go back to what I would call the home screen or the main screen, I just hit clear. Sometimes that works. That's if I'm in a particular menu and I'm trying to go back to home screen, main screen. But very often the combination of pressing the second button and the quit will get you back to being able to make your own calculations. If I wanted to use the fraction 54 over 100, I would type 54. I would use the division that creates your fractions, but you have to be careful when you want to work with fractions on your calculator that the entire fraction is in parentheses. So the parentheses I created just by using those buttons there. So when you use parentheses in the calculator, you don't have to press the multiplication button. If I just did 54 over 100 in parentheses, and then I just type the 1249, I'll get the same response. So this is exactly what I'm looking for on part A. You don't have to show both, one or the other. The next question, it gets into how these numbers are used as answers to a realistic problem. The question's asking, could part A be an actual number of subjects who said that bended knee was essential? And so in the Pearson site, this will be a multiple choice answer, and for now you would say no when describing the number of respondents, we must use a whole number. And you can answer that however you want. You don't have to watch this video. But that is just the fact that you can't have a fraction or a decimal of a person. And that goes into the next section a little bit on how we can categorize numbers and qualify numbers. And that goes to how we report our data when we get something back and it's a decimal, that we shouldn't use the decimal. We're talking about number of people. What is the actual number of survey respondents saying that the bended knee is essential? And so here you go back to good old-fashioned rounding. When you round to a whole number, the whole number would be the number before, to the left of the decimal point. And so they want me to round to this place. And so I would look at this value, ignoring the 6. So if I need to round to the whole number place, I look at the first number after the decimal. And if that number is 5 or greater, I would report 675. But since this is less than 5, I'll report 674. 674 respondents. And the final part of this written work is that they're going to have the same total number of respondents, same context, and this time they are talking about a different category or a different set of people that responded. And it says that 104 respondents said that bending a knee was corny and outdated, and they're asking you what percentage this is. So the question is, 104 is what percent of 1249? And so what you can do is take 1249 and use that as your total. And then 104 are those that said bended knee was corny. And you are taking this fraction and answering what percentage it is. So you could just do the numerator, the 104, divided by the denominator, and type it just like I said, 104 divided by 1249 in the calculator. I know you didn't see the buttons that I pressed, but I used the division symbol. And you are reporting the decimal place for percentages would be the second number after the decimal. So this would be 8.3%. And so what you'll see me do is I'll do this little approximate anytime I'm not writing exactly what is being shown on my calculator. I will put these little approximately symbols. And so this is about 8%, or 8% is what I would round to. Hopefully that helped, and please submit that written work in Canvas.